Welcome back to Oceanblock. Now, last episode I did a bunch of stuff down below, and we also started with some autocrafting, which I kind of expanded on. I didn't go too far with it, but I did try to get some of this stuff working, which all of it does work. Like I can craft nether stars and whatever else, except the dry ice. And the reason this doesn't work is because it requires the energizing orb, which I was working on automating, but I never finished. And I know there are ways to do it. I can look it up and yada, yada, yada. There's some using repeaters and whatnot, but I kind of want to try to figure it out my own way. And I want to do it in a way that's not vanilla. This right here is already bugging me because it's a few vanilla things. There is nothing wrong with vanilla Minecraft, but we're in modded, and I want to try to find, I feel like there should be a modded way to automate it. So I'm kind of working on that, playing with it, and until I figure it out, we're just gonna once I do figure it out, I'll let you know in case some of you are running into the same problem. But what I want to do today is actually peace of mind. I need to give myself peace of mind. Before I move on to other projects, we need to make sure our power is not going to run out. And what that's going to involve is filling this chest automatically with coal, redstone, uraninite, and dry ice, which we haven't started autocrafting yet. So I need to figure these things out, and I need to get it there. Now, in order to prevent that chest or that crate from filling up with only one type, for example, coal, we'll end up crafting coal faster than others. Or maybe uraninite, I'm not sure, but redstone comes in slower. So eventually what's going to happen is the redstone's going to empty out, and then the coal will fill in those empty slots, or the uraninite, and it'll basically block off the potential redstone that can come in to fill these guys, and then we'll run out of redstone and we'll be missing our fuel consumption upgrade and yada, yada, yada. So I need to find a different way of storing those few things without it being an issue. So clearly this area is getting very, very ugly and very, very cluttered. A plan is underway to fix that, but I just need to take care of this other problem first. That problem being the fact that I'm kind of scared that my reactors are going to run out of power, run out of items, and then run out of power. So it's kind of why I'm doing things in this order right now, but we will clean this up. Don't worry, this is going to be cleaned up. Now, aside from that, we do have this chest here. In this chest, I have exporting all of the things that we need. Now, the other side of this particular ender chest is one of my favorite ways to transport items, by the way, is these ender chests. They don't look the best, but they're very, very useful. But the other side is here, which is going, it's extracting. It's an item pipe. You kind of know how those work. But it's going directly into our drawer controller, which is basically has all these guys in stock, right? So after that, I gotta go around because I don't have a way to go under afterwards, or from the middle floor. I should probably add one of those. But anyway, so after that, it's being extracted from here, and I do have on here the round robin mode on, so that way when we get things like dry ice and we don't have enough to fill all of the reactors, it'll still give some of it to as many as it can. And that way we're just kind of making sure we have what we need. But it's just kind of the way it is. Now, it's positioned over here because it's not centered. And I'm sure some of you noticed that. But some of you also may have noticed we're missing 2 reactors on this particular level. So by putting it here, it's actually in the center. It's going to be the center. And I'm not sure if we're going to do this method for each side, or if I'm going to move this setup into the center somehow in order to accommodate all of them. And I don't know the best method for that. I don't know how well the round robin mode on these item pipes works, and if it can handle this many destinations at those distances, and how well it would handle it without causing problems. So I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out. But right now, at the very least, I have distribution handled. It will give all of my reactors whatever it needs from this guy. All I have to do is craft those items that I want to put in there, and basically that's it, because it'll export the blocks of coal in here as well. So if I go, do I have these recipes in here? I don't have that recipe. I do have redstone blocks though. So if I go here and be like, give me 20 of these guys. I have enough? Good. So as it crafts them, you'll see it's kind of popping in and out. That's because it's getting automatically exported into the system, into our reactor. Now, yes, that does mean we will not have redstone blocks, coal blocks, uraninite, or dry ice in our system. The biggest issue with that one is probably the redstone blocks, because you don't really use coal blocks too often, and the others are pretty much just meant for the reactor. So we're pretty much okay. And at the end of the day, if I really need some blocks, redstone blocks, I can just pop down here, jump over to these guys, and just plop out a few of my redstone blocks and be fine. So I'm not too concerned about it, and eventually it won't be an issue because I will have that. I don't know. I will adjust things to accommodate that particular problem. The next and biggest problem is the auto crafting of the dry ice. So if we go in here and say, hey, I want 10 of these, and we'll start that, you'll see it does kind of pop out a little bit, and you'll see it'll tick it over there. Is it actually going to work all the way this time? It's gonna go all the way. It just successfully completed the auto craft. No, it did. No, it didn't. It stopped. It stopped. Okay, so it didn't actually spit out the next one because the redstone pulse missed it. So what we have is redstone pulse inserts next set. I believe this is going to be our best method to actually get the crafter to do what we need, which is to put in 2 blocks of blue ice and then stop until the item is pulled out. And that's going to be, I think, our best method. Now, in order to give this guy a redstone signal when these items are pulled out, that's what the hopper's for. And the comparator. It depends on who you are and how you say that. But that's why these two things are here and how it's basically being transferred up. Now, I think what's happening is the tick is not... It might be happening too soon, and I could just extend this redstone line, put a repeater on the end of it. It'll be fine. It'll be a little slower, but it'll work, and it'll be reliable. And I may end up doing that, to be honest. But I wanted to find a different way. I wanted to at least try to find a different way to accomplish this. I've been playing around with some things. I wanted to figure out how to do this without redstone. Right? I wanted to do it the mod way. And the way to do that, I think, is going to be integrated dynamics, which I have played with before, but very, very little. And I knew how powerful it was, but I also knew how complex it could get. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff to this, okay? There is a whole lot of stuff that you can do in this mod, and that's fine. It makes it very powerful. I will say that the basic operations are fairly easy to grasp. More stuff later on can get a little complicated. We only did the basics, and the reason for that is because we actually have a pretty basic concept there that we want to do. So I stopped the tutorial, but I did do quite a bit of it before. It's kind of fun just to go through the tutorials. I would recommend it if you can follow along. If not, don't worry too much about it, because, But yeah, I did a bunch. I forgot that would even show up like that. But yeah, I did a bunch. So I kind of understand this mod now. And it is a lot of fun. It is really cool. But I still have to think about how to accomplish the goal that I have over here. Which, granted, I could just put a pipe on here. I could do a redstone reader on the comparator. Get that, and if... just basically output it to the other side or something. I could attach this guy to this guy and just spit it out on the other side. I just don't know if I want to do it that way. I want to see if I can go even further with the mod and maybe read the inventory of the energizing orb or the hopper and do something with it that way to make it more stable, is kind of what I'm looking for. I'm not going to make it more complex for no reason. I want it to be more stable, and so I can trust it. So I can trust to do its job. And if we're just doing redstone, I don't think I can trust it. I got it. Look. Looky. It's simple. It's smooth. It's perfect-ish. Let me show you real quick. Okay, so I can basically autocraft, we're just going to say 10 for now, right? And it'll just spit it out, convert, absorb, spit it out, convert, absorb. And it's actually very simple. Now, the issue is it will break if I ever run out of energy. Do you think I'm going to run out of energy? I don't think I'm going to run out of energy. So, although honestly, it really is possible if we keep, like, say we made more of our power pots than we're supposed to, we could run out of energy. But anyway, point is, we have this working, and the reason it would mess up if we ran out of energy is because this guy wouldn't be able to convert it fast enough, because this one actually has the can I go into, oh no, I can go into here. Basically, item transfer rate is 2, so it's only transporting 2 items at a time, which makes sense because we need to use 2 blue ice to get one. It's gonna take 60 ticks to do 1 operation, which means it's sending 2 items. Remember, the stack size is 2 items every 3 seconds because there's 20 ticks in a second. So every 60 ticks or 3 seconds, it'll spit 2 more items out, even if there's already something in here. So if we break this guy, and just for demonstration purposes, right? Give me some blue ice in here. So there's no way we can actually get this, the proper energy. It'll just keep adding to it over time, which obviously will break everything, right? So it's not exactly perfect, but it does work as long as I don't run out of energy. It's fairly stable. I don't really have to worry too much if this is actually going to connect. I can just kind of bloop. We have everything we need now in order to keep those guys running. It's not completely automatic. Okay, I still have to request the crafting of the coal or redstone or uraninite or whatever else, or the dry ice, before it will actually get sent here. But I can just craft it and throw it in the system or in the chest, and it will be sent where it needs to be sent, and everything will be filled. So we got to keep a little bit of an eye out. I'm not a big fan of that because I want it to be all automatic, but we're still early in the process of organizing things. So I'm not going to fret too much about not getting exactly where I wanted to be. Not yet. Because it's a mess. This is a mess. Like, this whole thing is a mess. And in order to do the automatic thing that I want, I'm going to have to build even more. And I am running out of room. Like, I have no room. And I really, 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 really need to organize, at the very least, my refined storage setup. If I can do that, I'd be happy. The rest of the machines can stay here if they really want to. It's up to them. They can throw themselves a party. But our refined storage, it's got to go somewhere more organized because it is so messed up right now. And it's driving me nuts. All right, so now we've gotten basically everything moved. I moved it all. And it looks a lot better. We are kind of missing something, however, and that's all the machines we had. Now, I have started crafting this little area, and I think basically it's going to be the pair to this guy up here. I may end up expanding this up top. I think I am actually going to expand it up top because I want a little bit more room for this guy down below. But I am going to mimic this, actually. I did this a little bit different. Let me show you the design I have up top real quick. But I can't quite go there yet. I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to make it better, but we'll see. This right here is a bunch of chisels and bits slabs. That's why they're a little darker. I think it still looks pretty good. I think it looks okay, even with the darkness. So we're going to keep it, but it is such a pain to work with chisels and bits. The regular chisel and just placing bits and stuff is okay, but actually doing like patterns and things is kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not going to lie. Their machines don't really work all that well. Because I was looking at, what is it? This guy right here. I was looking at the chisel station in the chisel bit storage. Apparently you can put one of these next to one of these and then set a pattern in him and it will automatically craft it. But it doesn't always work. It only works sometimes. And then there's sometimes where it will use more bits than it should. And then it messes up the whole rhythm. I don't know. it was kind of, if anybody knows how to work that and make it work better, or if you know what their quirks are, you know, because some things have quirks and you have to work around them just because it is a mod. It is a big thing. It is not easy to program in your free time, which is what most mod authors do. I want to make it clear, I'm not criticizing them at all. Okay, they do good work for free time, for non-professional stuff, but I'm only saying that it's not the easiest to use right now, and those machines aren't. So if there's a way to work around it so I could actually use that feature to like autocraft certain patterns, it would be handy, but it just, I don't know, it seems to break right now. But anyway, so I have this stuff moved over here and I need the machines. And what I want to do is kind of mimic what I have there down here. So we're going to have a little bit of a stair up, kind of the same way we did this one. We're going to do more chisels and bits stuff. I don't want to do a whole lot of it because of the reasons I mentioned, but we're going to do some because I do think it does enhance the build. But yeah, and then we're going to be able to go down here and kind of go into our machine room. I can't go up yet because it's still filled with water. I got to clear that out. But I'm just not sure what size to make this. I really don't, I'm not sure. I want to make it bigger. I've already agreed or decided about that. I'm going to make this bigger because we're going to have a lot more things here. But I'm not exactly sure how big. Room, sweet room. That doesn't make sense. But I do have the room now, and I feel much, much better about the situation, except for this one empty spot, which I'm going to have to fix in a little bit. Or maybe right now. Why are you empty? Some of these other ones, obviously, I'm going to have to build up the edges around here. I'm going to do some more design in that aspect, but I do have downstairs complete as well. It's now filled in, and these aren't the final locations for our machines, but I kind of have them separated out. I did go ahead and get a mechanical squeezer because it's actually the best for iron. And I've been throwing these guys in here in order to get them kind of smelted because my iron output or my iron seed is not actually doing a whole lot. It's not very quick. So I've been supplementing it a little bit with chunks because we had some chunks. But anyway, so one thing I did realize afterwards is we are going to have to remove 2 of the reactors to allow me to kind of, go through here. But I'm okay with that because I don't think it'll mess with things in the long run. The bottom line is that we had 25 levels that we're doing, and we added 2 extra reactors. No, 4 extra reactors per level because we were only going to do 5. 5 times 25 being 125, and it was like barely enough energy. So then I did 6 per side. So I added 4 extra reactors every level. So we're actually going to be okay on power, even though I had to remove some. And if I have to remove some elsewhere, whether it be on this level or another one, we're going to be okay. Now, I'm kind of set now. This is basically what I wanted to get done, and I have it done. Now, I don't have the Autocrafting set here. I don't have this like connected, and I kind of want to get that going so that we have what we need in order to do things. I also haven't hooked back up the logic cables for our energizing orb, and I would like to get that finished up and moved over as well. Now, we're eventually going to have to get things like these jars and this guy, which is kind of meh. I don't know. We're going to use him, but rarely. This guy I don't know if we're ever going to use again. I don't know. There are machines that can do the same thing, like the induction smelter. You can also craft, I think, in certain ways, but I'm not 100% if there's a way to do everything this guy does alternatively through a machine. If there is, we're going to do the machine because this guy does take time. He's a little tedious to set up, and he does require a lot of room. So I'm going to try to go without him, but we're going to see what happens. So I'm actually not too far away from moving everything over into our new area to the point where I could remove that tiny little island. Almost, but not quite. So like I said, the last thing that I want to get done is actually to hook these guys up to our network so that we can have some auto crafting stuff going. And there we go. So everything is now connected. I basically have all of the basic recipes in here because that's kind of what they are, you know? You just need them to be a crafting table. And because of that, you can place them right beside your system like this, and it's fine. When it comes to the patterns that need some kind of external machine like this, it becomes a little more complicated, but it's still not impossible. So this guy, for example, has a multi-stage process. So of course, to get these guys, you need to smelt the raw improved processor. So when we request one, what it's going to do is the system is going to realize that it doesn't have the raw improved processor. And it kind of works the same way as these guys that have multiple stages as well. If I need something that needs a block of redstone, it will craft the redstone and then the block because I have the pattern in the system. Same thing works with those guys. So when it realizes it needs a raw improved processor like these guys, it will go ahead and craft it as it is. And then it will send that raw one into that machine. Now the machine is then set, you know, it's a furnace. You put something in, it smelts it. So it's going to smelt it, pop it out, and it's set to basically output to this chest, which we have an importer on. So the way crafting works is this machine here does not have to receive the item in order for it to qualify as done. It just has to go into the system. So even though this is spitting it into here and it's going out and back into the system a different way, it doesn't matter. It still counts it. It still works. And the system realizes that is the result of the crafting process just because that's how it works. So if we go to processor, for example, and we say, let me craft one of these guys. Let me get 10 of them because why not? So it's going to craft the redstone I need. It's got the slime balls and the string, which is good. It's got these guys. So we're just going to go bloop. And what you're going to see is as they're crafted, they're added to this system. So it's now smelting them. And as we go up here, we can actually see it like going down and being counted. So it works just fine. I love autocrafting. It's really, really cool. So what I can do is say, oh, no, I need another crafter. Oh, I have more crafters. I didn't realize I already had some more crafters. Let's make this even. We're going to be doing a lot of crafting, so it's fine. Let's do, I don't know, more nitro. How many nitros can we make? If we go here just to... can we make another 60? Not quite. We're still missing some of those. We're actually... Well, we're only missing 166 of those. I really need to get those into one of the pots, too. If we got that, we'd probably be fine. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys understand the process. It just crafts as it needs. So even the really complicated ones like this, as long as you have a pattern and you kind of go down the rabbit hole and make patterns for every single thing, all of these things that need patterns, all the way down to the basic resources you're going to have, you can craft anything in this. It might take a while. It might take multiple steps and multiple machines, but you can do it. So this island over here is just about ready to be gone. I just want to redesign this. And once we do, we can start doing the ice stuff for these guys, which is really going to bring the whole build together. Because as you see right now, I'm barely adding anything, but it's already looking pretty cool. I like it. I really do. I think it's coming together. Even though I still need to do the outside of this and rough it up like these. Because all of them are basically going to be that style. And then, of course, I have to go around and add the blue ice and packed ice to make it look a little bit more mixed up and stuff. Although, even with just ice, it does look pretty cool. I kind of like it. We're going to see what it looks like if I add in the packed ice and blue ice and see if it's better. If it's not, we're just going with ice. But anyway, I am aware that this episode is probably going to be pretty short, but it also needs to come out in like an hour and a half. 2 hours and a half. 2.5 hours. And it takes a little while to render and upload. So I'm going to have to cut it a little bit short, but don't worry. We'll be back. We'll be back in the swing of things. We'll get some stuff going. But if you like the episode, pretty please, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Please hit the like button and subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.